Hi there, welcome to the second episode of my 10-minute moan of today. And the topic of this 10-minute moan is the quite bizarre response from Kier Starmer making an announcement to the nation tonight in a press conference at Downing Street on what he and his government plan to do after the horrific murders in Southport. Now, although he did talk at the start of it about the victims of this horrendous crime, he then went on to tell us how he was going to help the situation in the United Kingdom right now, but went on to not mention anything that would ensure the safety of children in places such as a dance class. Not one mention. He did talk of new guidelines and things to invoke laws that we already have in place but just need to be invoked in times of need. He did discuss that. And he quite bizarrely, despite having a summer full of incident where we've seen violence on the streets of Leeds, Manchester, horrifically in Southend with a machete fight with hundreds of youths. We've seen violence in Southport and London and Hartlepool. Let's just listen to the violence on our streets that Mr. Kier Starmer wishes to deal with.
And make no mistake, whether it's in Southport, London or Hartlepool, these people are showing our country exactly who they are.
So, what have we got? We've got 3 incidents that Mr. Starmer wishes to eradicate: London, Southport and Hartlepool. No mention whatsoever of Leeds, of Southend or Manchester. So we're not putting anything in to sort them out, because these things obviously don't need sorted out. They're obviously not a concern for Mr. Starmer. It's just these other things are. What you've completely missed there, Mr. Starmer, is the people who are out there protesting and unfortunately led to violence. They have concerns with our society at the moment. But you're quite happy to brandish them as right-wing, you're happy to brandish them as thugs, and you're happy to put things in place which will come on to deter these actions. But you have put nothing in place after what happened in Manchester, Leeds, or what was the other one? Forgot. It's terrible. Manchester, Leeds, Southend. Horrific incident happened in Southend with hundreds of youths and many of them carrying large machetes. That you've not put anything in place to stop these things. We've seen a community in Leeds that chased the police out of their neighbourhood. We've seen a community in Southend where people were scurrying for cover in a city centre, a promenade and in a beach area where the violence went on for several hours. Horrific. We've all seen the videos of almost close combat with machetes on the streets of the United Kingdom, but nothing in your speech tonight suggested anything to stop them. And this is where the problem lies, because the people who are protesting, and it's leading to violence, there's no hiding the fact, in London, Southport and Hartlepool, have got concerns. But there's millions of people who share the same concerns as these people who are turning to violence. And when you brandish the right-wing and thugs with these views, you're totally ignoring the massive waves of people, UK citizens, who have got concerns about the safety of our children when they're put into playgroups. They've got concerns about the lack of getting a handle on immigration. They've got severe issues with the 2-tier policing that seems evident on the streets of the United Kingdom. And that's why their pressures have led to some protesting, and some of those protesting has led to violence. But these people are not alone with their concerns. But you're telling these people with these concerns who are in the House, we ain't listening to you because you're brandishing them. Right wing, fascists, we've even had people in your party call them Nazis and thugs. This is the terminology used. And although you can hide behind aiming that at the people who have had violence in the streets, nobody's differentiating those people to the millions who have the shared concerns. You have done nothing to allay those concerns. You have put things in place to try and stop these right-wing fascist thugs, as you describe them. But you have put nothing in place to protect children who have been murdered going to what should be a fun summer camp. Now we'll go on to what you've put in place to try and curb this right-wing fascist uprising that you seem scared of.
We will establish a national capability across police forces to tackle violent disorder. These thugs are mobile, they move from community to community, and we must have a policing response that can do the same. Shared intelligence, wider deployment of facial recognition technology, and preventative action, criminal behaviour orders to restrict their movements.
So, what we're going to put in place is facial recognition and restrictions on movement. Now, if I was confident that you had some wonderful magic wand that would be able to differentiate between people wanting to go out and have protests, peaceful protests, and people that are leaving the house with violent intent, I might welcome these measures that you've taken. But I see no guarantee. And I see the media, I see the police, and I see government brandishing anybody of some sort of thoughts as being fascist right-wing thugs. So anyone with these views, regardless of their intentions when they leave the house, whether it's to go out and peacefully protest or go out and cause destruction, I believe that they'll all face the same issues. Facial recognition and restrictions in their movement. Now, I've protested in the past. I've protested as recently as May this year. Been out protesting twice about the hate crime bill. So as I'm known to be a protester, are my civil liberties in danger now if I wish to go out and protest in the future about anything else that I have concern as a citizen? You did give me no faith to be confident that I'll not be treated in the manner that you've just described there in your video, where I'll have restrictions put on my movement, and that will be aided by some sort of facial recognition. But the most disgusting thing is, Mr. Starmer, you're unable to have a blanket outlook on anything that happens within the streets of the United Kingdom, because you've quite clearly been able to, differentiate between 3 places with violence and completely ignore 3 others. And that concerns me, because the people who are out protesting and the people who share the opinions of those that are protesting feel they've been victimised by being nothing more than patriotic. Now, you want to disagree with that, that's fine, that's your prerogative. But to ignore it is dangerous, because these people who have been out protesting so far are not alone in having the same concerns over safety of children, safety of our females, safety of our population, safety of our cultures, safety, just, walking a dog. I've seen a woman killed out walking a dog recently. And having concerns about lack of housing, and having concerns about no clear path to curb the 7-figure immigration that we've seen over the last few years in the United Kingdom. Nothing. And the people who have these same concerns will be brandished far right. about Frandish thugs, and they will have issues. I guarantee you that, if they ever want to go and peacefully protest because of what you've said today at your press conference. If you enjoyed the video, please give it a thumbs up. If you've not already done so, please consider subscribing. But, most importantly of all, unless you're Kier Starmer or any of these people who find it very easy to label patriotic people as right-wing and thugs and people that share their opinions. Everyone else, have a great day. Cheery bye now.